So this is a, where am I going? I've lost my way. Here we are. We are going to run through these questions about how to make these maps. So first I'm going to go to Google My Maps. And I'm going to say create a new map here up on the top left. Create a new map. And the first one we're going to do, I think, is the bicycle thefts around Cardiff. So the place to go is import up here. And now you can select from your computer if you've downloaded the file, or you can even look it up here. And I think I call it something like September. What was it called? September Bikes. Okay, so you can do that as well from the drive, or you can just upload it. So the crucial element is that it has a latitude and longitude. If it doesn't have that, it won't know where to put the markers. That's the kind of the bit you can't do without. And so it has figured out that it's probably the column called latitude that has the latitude, and probably the column called longitude that has the longitude. Great. Then it's going to need a name for each of these. And we've got street, or we've got outcome. Let's have street. And that's probably enough to get our points onto our map. Great. Then we are going to have to give it a name. So let's say reported bike theft. It's probably more important to say September, isn't it? Because we'll know where we are. Bicycle theft reported to South Wales Police in September. In Cardiff, reported to South Wales Police in September 2022. Okay. Now we can rename this layer as well. This has a checkbox, which is important because when you publish this, people will sometimes have options to check things on and off. So if we double click on this, we can call it just something like bicycles September, because somebody's probably going to see that layer. Okay, so here we are. The next thing I think we have to do is change the base map, which is simply this drop down button here, just to show you that that exists as a possibility. I think, well, you just try them out until you find one that works. No. There we go. It's a bit cluttered. I think we'll go back to this. I don't know how useful that is if you're trying to... yeah, that's not really going to work, is it? What else? Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's our map, there's our base. And the other thing we needed to do was to adjust the style. So we have a little paint pot here beside all items. If we click on that, click on the paint pot, we can select the color for all the items, and we can select an icon. So let's have the star. Orange is a little bit close, actually. That's better. Okay, so I think we've done everything now. Change the base map, title. Okay, share and print. So those are the things we need to do. Printing is very straightforward. You simply adjust your map. And that's a bit too... There we go. That's about right. And then we go up here on the top right, and there's an option print map. There's also options for embed codes if you have a website that needs it. So we print the map, and that'll save. There we go. Okay, now it's all a bit clustered, but that'll have to do us. Now the other thing we need to do is we need to share it. So there we go. Anyone with this link can view. They're not going to see my name. They won't know who made this. and we get a link which we can copy there, and I can look at it now as if I was not logged in. So what does it look like if you're just a regular person? So this map was created by a user, and you can see the letters, toggle them on or off. And these are all the data points that are attached to our locators. So every locator has the data that came with it, which is the street it's on or near, and the latitude and longitude, and the outcome of the investigation. So you can move around and see what street it was on and what became of the investigation. So I think that's everything here. Yeah, so the next thing is to make another map. And actually, instead of starting the whole process again, I am just going to add another layer. And I'm going to import, and I'm going to call it something to do with sharks. There we go, sharks 2020. Again, it needs to know, is it the latitude and longitude we want? Yes, it is. And it needs some kind of label for each of these. And I think we're going to pick victim injury. Yeah. So there's Sharks 2020, which is in Australia. And then I'm just going to delete the layer of bicycle theft in Cardiff. Obviously, we need to rename this Shark Attacks Australia. Okay. Shark attacks around Australia. And this is really where we should put our source, which I think we have somewhere. Yeah. So there is a source given for this Australian shark stuff. And the shark attacks for 2020 to 21. Source. There we go. Okay, so that's still a live link, which is useful. Okay, we're going to rename the layer as well. We'll just call it 2020 because I think people will know what we're talking about. And then we're going to add another layer because we have this other data set of 2021 shark attacks. So sharks 2021. The same thing. And it was victim injury. I mean, we could use something else, but. And then we're going to call this 2021. Now we've got two layers, which means people will be able to click on 2020 or 2021. The simplest thing to do, first of all, is probably to do the same thing we did the last time, which is to color some of them one color. I mean, we can also go for something, I'm not sure what the right icon is for a shark attack, but let's have some more stars. And here we can have some more stars as well. So we got blue stars. Blue is not a great color if you've got lots of sea. We've already got orange. Let's have purple, fine. So there we go, there's our map. So each of these, because there's a lot more data, will show us here. Let's take this one. So this should really have been removed from the data set. It's not very helpful. It's just an ID number. It tells us the month, the year, the state, whereabouts it was, the latitude and longitude, what kind of site it was, and what kind of shark it was. Now we could also, of course, attach a photo. A photo of that kind of shark. Right, and then what else do we have to do? Okay, so adjust the uniform style to style by data column. So this is interesting because at the moment we're showing the year, okay, by the layer. But we could, which is what we're going to do now, say, not there, we're going to go to, we have uniform style, which means everything in 2021 gets the same style. But we could say, I want you to style it by the things that appear in this column, which is victim injury, and I think there's about 3 or 4 different things that appear. Basically, the victim died, or the victim got away, or the victim was injured, something like this. So now let's just click off 2020 altogether for a moment. So we've got these green ones, and we can see on the green ones injured. That's where it is. Okay, that's the column that we're coloring by. So it's now become the name of this point. So this is if the column gives injured for this incident, it's going to be colored green, which is probably not a good color if you've been injured. And then you'll see if the column supplies uninjured. Easiest way to see this probably would be to go back and look at the data set, so you can see what we're, where are we? There's an outcome of some kind. It was at the top here, isn't it? Victim. Where is it? There we go. Victim injury. So you can be fatal, uninjured, or injured, and that's it. Okay, those are the options. And so this is uninjured, and then the last color, the burgundy, is fatal. So what we should do here is change these, because fatal, let's have red, uninjured, let's have green, and injured, let's have orange. So there we go. Okay, so now we can see where the incidents were in 2021, and another thing we can do, so we could repeat this on 2021. We could say, instead of a uniform style, give us a style in terms of victim injury, and then we could say we'll have to adjust these colors. Injured is orange, we said, uninjured is green. Which green is it? It's this green here. And this one here is fatal. And we've got red. Okay. And the other thing we could do is we could go back to we can close this now. Oh, where are we? We can go back to, oh, we should have done it. Yeah, I should have done it here. We can change the icons. So in 2020, at the moment, everything is using the points, right? But we could also say, if it's 2020, let's have the stars. 2020, let's have a star, and 2020, let's have a star. So now we are showing people what year it is. So 2021 are these little point markers, and 2020 are these stars. And then we're also showing them if it was a fatal incident, or if the person was uninjured or injured. And that is it, I think, for that task. Yep, that's it. Okay, so that's enough for this.